makes room in the medical
I'm a patient.
community.
I am 18 years HIV positive.
And unconventional therapies as we work toward the better patient outcome. We are all unique individuals. Not all treatments work equally on all of us.
Excuse me, my name is Jay Johnson, and I'm doing a documentary about the medical marijuana here in Southern California. And I understand, is that medical marijuana you're smoking there? Okay, you're a patient, obviously. And what's your ailment? What's your sickness?
Depression.
And marijuana helps you with that?
Sure does.
What does it do?
When you're happy, you're healthy. I don't advocate the use of any type of drug because most of them are 99% addictive and they'll change your life. But if you decide to use it, I say please be rational, positive, creative, regardless whether you're using a drug or using a drug. It's better than pharmaceuticals, and it's a lot safer.
The process is people come in and they have specific ailments that they feel they need assistance for the use of medical marijuana. So they come in and they bring their medical records that show that they have specific ailments or problems, and then the doctor evaluates their records, and then from there they can legally recommend medical marijuana for use in their ailments.
Well, right now I got MS. It started off with a job injury, and I got hit in the head with a 50-pound power workstation, and it got me. We was making a delivery, and off the elevator it fell and it got me in the head. So I was going through that. And the doctor I had, he found that I needed surgery in my neck. I'm wondering what they trying to do. They saying a majority of Californians, they love medical marijuana. It don't do no danger to anyone. Taken right, it's a good medication.
This is a rally and protest against the DEA raids on medical cannabis patients and caregivers. So we're going to roll up over there. It says, "Come spank the DEA and thank the LAPD." There is a legal battle between the federal government and the state concerning legal marijuana here in Southern California.
George Bush has got his little war. That's his business. I don't tell him how to live. I don't want people telling me and my friends. We choose to medicate naturally. We don't want to take all your government-sponsored pills and all that shit. That's why I'm here, to stop the DEA from taking my rights. Thank you.
Why is the DEA doing this if it's a good product, if it's helping patients, if people are being healed and their misery is being less made difficult? I mean, it's helping them and healing them. Why would the government do this?
The Proposition 215 is a California state proposition. DEA serves under federal law, which does not recognize the state's rights to have their own propositions when it comes to medical marijuana. This raid was done unconstitutionally. They went in without a search warrant and arrested the staff and kept bringing patients in, taking their money from them, taking their medication from them.
They took your medical marijuana from you?
Yes, they did.
And did they arrest you?
No.
Then escorting them out the door. They held the security guards for 9 hours. We were there until midnight and they didn't leave.
Did they arrest the patients?
I'm not certain about whether patients were actually arrested initially, but they were allowed to leave.
And which facility was this?
This was Trichome Healing Center in Van Nuys, California.
We need a patient population movement.
You think they're afraid to come out?
I don't think they're aware, man. I think that we need to somehow motivate the patient population to stand by in the dispensaries because the patient population is being threatened. That there's a certain level of confusion that has been brought to this area by certain organizations of our government, and I think that they desire the confusion that they've brought around because we have a lot of patients that absolutely need this medication, and they've been doing really kind of strange things around the Constitution.
Please look into the faces of the ones you love. At some time, you will be tied to someone who has cancer, arthritis, HIV, just aging, MS, chronic pain from accidents, illnesses, or war injuries. Would you deny them the access to medication to alleviate their suffering?
Do you think that the DEA has a right to come in and do these things?
I think the state laws kind of state that they're not. Certainly it's illegal federally, and if they want to invoke that, maybe they have the right, but I don't think it's what they should be doing.
Why do you think they're doing that? How can it be illegal state-wise and illegal federal-wise, and they govern the whole thing? Explain that to me.
I think that's the ultimate question. I think that's what we're trying to work out. Hopefully we can get something. I mean, even in the state, even in every city and every county, there's different laws. You know, what's going on in Orange County is not the same thing that's going on in Los Angeles County. So ultimately, hopefully everybody can get to the same page and figure out what's going on and who has the right to say what's right and what's wrong.
Okay, I'm excited here. What's your name?
Steve Garvey.
Steve Garvey. And was I correct in hearing that they announced that you're running for President of the United States next term?
Steve, I understand you're running for president, is that right? Steve Garvey's running for president of the United States.
For 2008, I was recently at Seattle Hemp Fest, where Ed Rosenthal, Eddie Lepp, Alan St. Pierre, leaders of our movement stood with me and supported me as I asked the crowd for their support to run for president. People who know me know that I've been standing up against the government for 10 years.
10 years ago, when my friends and I wrote and passed Prop 215, it was because the police kept telling us, if you don't like the law, change the law. Well, we changed the law, and every one of us is under direct assault from the criminal justice system as a result.
That I went to jail for a completely bogus charge, that hundreds of people demonstrated on my behalf, that they were embarrassed and apologized and had to release me very early. And so I've taken my licks. They've thrown everything they can at me. They spent $10 million to prosecute me. And now I have an obligation to get in their face with the message of what is really going on.
So you're running for president. Say you win by a landslide. What would you do as president? I mean, would you legalize marijuana across the board?
Well, I see marijuana not as an issue, but as a litmus test. And so long as marijuana is illegal, then there is not freedom in this country.
Wow. What would happen if everyone in the entire world were able to smoke marijuana legally, if the Food and Drug Administration was put out of business, if they allow herbs and natural healing agents into this world again so people could live longer? What would happen? We could take marijuana over to Iran, Iraq, and just smoke them out.